Warning, this video is raw and unedited, but you may like it. Hey, welcome to another episode of Camp and Camera. If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today, we're going to do something a little different, something that I've never done before, something that I enjoy watching myself on YouTube, just never got around to it. I'm going to show you what's in my workshop. Now listen, if you're wanting to see a YouTube video of a workshop that looks like a museum, you might as well go ahead and skip on to a different video. This is a working workshop. I'm all the time doing projects out here, so it's going to be dirty, it's going to be janky, but it's going to be real. So let me show you what I got going on in this thing. Now, most of you know from watching the videos, my content has been about tiny camping, teardrop camping. Back several years ago, I built a teardrop camper in this shop. Many of you wondered if I was even going to be able to get it out the door. Well, we did, and we've camped in it a lot. We really enjoy it. But I do have a lot of other interests besides just teardrop camping, and you'll see what some of those are today. So let's take a look around. So the big thing you'll see is a workbench in the middle of the shop. This bench, I think, working from memory, been a long time since I built it. I think it's 3.5 wide by 9 feet long. Not sure why I landed on that size. Probably just to have good aisle space around it. But 3.5 by 9. This is 1.5 inch thick OSB board I was able to get. So this is a heavy and flat workbench top. It does a good job. I know on one of my videos I did a review of these little micro jigs, and I still use those. Used them the other day. They work good. Coming around here, I just have a small contractor saw. This is a Craftsman Evolve. To be honest with you, I'm not really happy with it. I'll probably do something else in the future, but right now it's getting me by. This behemoth, this is a 12-inch rigid compound sliding miter saw, and it's very, very infrequent that I pull this thing out. When I do, it does a nice job, but it sure takes up a lot of room, and sometimes I wonder if I ought to just go to a smaller 10-inch saw. And kind of the same thing with this rigid planer. I've only used this once since I've owned it, and I've had it for several years, and it's taking up space in the shop, and I keep wondering if I should even keep it. But I just know as soon as I do, I'll need to plane a board down, so who knows. Going on around, I know that most of this wall you've seen in the videos kind of as a backdrop to, to the content that I've shot. But anyway, this is my Delta combo belt and disc sander. And I actually use this thing a lot. I mean, like a whole lot. So it's been a good investment. I didn't know if I would really use this wind oscillating spindle sander very much, but turns out I'm using this thing quite a bit too. So it's been a good tool. Harbor Freight Special. I got a Fortress, says 175 psi air compressor. I never air it up to that high. Usually air it up lower. But it's been good for, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years now. And probably the best air compressor I've ever owned. I hate to say it, coming from Harbor Freight. And yeah, I'm still using the old Porter cable hand tools, or power tools, cordless power tools. But they keep working. So why switch? It's harder and harder to get Porter cable tools, so I just end up buying replacements off of eBay if I need one, or buying something off eBay I don't have. I've used almost every one of these in the last week on a project, and they're still doing great. So you can see I've got the chargers across the bottom here. Now I do have a Craftsman charger, do have some Craftsman tools, and just jump on over here, you'll see I've got Craftsman batteries. I've actually got some Works batteries. Those are for some garden tools, and then Porter cable goes over here. Here's something that I did on the 3D printer the other day. I can never remember if these tools are charged or not. So if it's green, it's charged. If it's red, it needs to be charged. That's been pretty handy already. Oh, my bandsaw. I don't use this a terrible lot, but I do use it. And, you know, one of the problems you run into a bandsaw is when you run something through the back of it, you know, how much space do you have? So I recessed this to make it at a comfortable height. But I also put this little lock on there so I can pull it out. And by doing so, now I've got a, you know, actually it'll come out further than that. Yeah. I probably have a good comfortable 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet back there. So when I do need something like that, it's handy. Don't know that it's necessary. I'll check this out. This is something I made about 2 weeks ago. Made a little national park sign that says Camp and Camera on it. I'm just completely digging that one. How many tape measures does a person need? Well, apparently I need 5. And I actually bought this one the other day. Let me show you this thing. It's by Klein Tools. It ended up being pretty inexpensive, but here's the cool thing about it. It's got a wide clip or tang, they call it, on the end, so you can grab from both sides. You can lock it with this button here, but you can also stop it with the button down here. And they claim it will extend 13 feet before it tries to buckle on you. That's pretty good. And I'm a freak about tape measures. 16 feet to me is the perfect length. I've got a couple 25s, but once you get that far, they get a little bulky. To me, 16 is the perfect length for a tape measure. Now coming over here, just some basic hand tool storage. Now this is something I don't know if I showed you about before or not. I had these bits basically just piled up on top of each other. I didn't even know what I had. So I've taken and 3D printed some bit storage, and this has turned out to be pretty cool. Everything is in a section. So I've got square drive, Phillips, flat, star, socket and drill, so forth. And I've used this thing almost every time I've been out in my workshop. So it's been very good. Picked up a couple of these little things at Harbor Freight. And let me just tell you what, these are awesome for like 15, 18 bucks. I've just now started putting stuff in them. This side here, I've got quite a bit more to go. This one, I've got some specialty tools in here, small screwdrivers, whatnot. But yeah, pretty nice. My 3D printed, I guess that's a Volkswagen van, or maybe they call it a Volkswagen bus, but keep my pencils in there. And now something that you haven't seen before is probably something right down here. For the last several years, I have been absolutely ashamed of the bottom of my workbenches. And here's what I mean. I probably shouldn't even be showing you this. See that clutter down there? Got another machine down there. Here's the bad side. Got cans of paint, scrap plywood, spray paint, mixing cups, just stuff. Here's my another clutter spot. And I really probably shouldn't be showing you this, but it goes on around. Um, just stuff everywhere. And I hate the way it looks. It's hard to get anything out, even in these bins. The bins I thought would be the trick, but if you need something out of the bottom, you have to take the 2 top ones out. So it's kind of aggravating. So a couple weeks ago, I came out, started building storage in here, started building drawers. I am absolutely loving that. Absolutely loving it. Now I can use the full space, left to right, front to back, up and down, with having multiple drawers. I actually can store more things and get to it easier. I am digging these drawers, so I hope to put them all the way around the rest of the workshop. But here's what I'm doing. This one is just for larger tools that I don't use as often. So they're down below. This is for sanding, sanding discs, sanding pads. We've got brad nails over in this section. We've got different kinds of tape over here. This one, at the very bottom, I've got what I'm calling obscure tools. tools that I don't use as often, so they're down low. Here are sockets and wrenches and adapters for sockets. Here's my cordless drills, impact driver, different kinds of drill bits. So this is, so far, it's already a game changer, and I'm absolutely loving it. I look forward to doing this on the rest of the workshop. Over here, kind of a junky area. Probably shouldn't be showing you this, but hey, it's part of the workshop. I've got clamps across the top up here, you know, like quick grips, squeeze clamps, just a few bar clamps. I actually need some more of them. Now, turn around here just for a second. This is a radio controlled airplane that I'm building right now. Like I need more airplanes, but anyway, I've built a lot of airplanes in here over the years. That's one of my hobbies. And I have stored electronics in here for radio controlled airplanes. And I'm finding that that's kind of inconvenient. So I may actually pull that down. I may actually pull this whole section off the wall and do something different here. And we may talk here in a moment about what's on my mind for all my walls. Got the camping camera refrigerator full of tasty drinks. There's little pallets for airplanes up top up there. I've got some storage for bits and whatnot. Here I just keep like utility knives, little mini torches, cigarette lighters, a couple electrical testers up top. I like weird musical instruments, so I'm always keeping something like this. Is a set of spoons right here that you play for background, but Mom got me that for my birthday or Christmas, and I actually play that when I'm out here sometime. Just something I like to do. Oh, sorry for moving the camera around so fast. This right here is my laser cutter, laser engraver, and I've wired up a vent, like a dryer vent that's got a blower that pulls the smoke out. And then here's a large, I don't know if you call it an air compressor. It's kind of like what you blow air in a fish aquarium with, but this is just like on a larger scale. And I trigger those with this, and it makes the laser burn hotter and it pulls the smoke out better. So I keep the adapters and all that stuff just inside of it when I'm not using it. And I like to watch camping camera videos while I'm out here. Well, maybe some other videos too. I've got 3 3D printers out here. If you know anything about 3D printers, you'll know this is kind of an ancient one. Everything's fully manual. This one has some more automated features. This one right here is almost completely automated, and I find myself using it more and more. I keep my filament up top. I try to keep a variety of colors, so whatever I want to print, I've got a color for it. Got some filament down here in the dryer. Keep a little metal chop saw, which I don't use much, but when I do, nothing else will do the job. And so is with my metal lathe. I don't use it much, but when I do, it's the only thing that'll do it. So I like to run out in the front yard every now and then and just put a little airplane up. Don't have a whole lot of room out there to fly, but I keep some small stuff up here on the wall. I can just grab it and go out and fly in the yard for a few minutes. Got a little grinder here. On my doors, my cleaning station. Now you'll remember I just did a video on this lead time battery. And the reason it's in here on the wall is it's crazy cold outside. I'm going to keep it in here over the winter so it won't, the cold weather won't hurt it. And I'll put it back out in the trailer in the summertime. This right here is my little chop saw. And I've been watching videos on this thing. And I think I'm going to put a wooden fence or arms that extends out. And I've ordered a clip-on tape measure to put on there. And I'm going to make a new plate for this, I believe. One that's only, the slot will only be as wide as the saw kerf. There's another airplane I like it. It's a little bit bigger, but I like to take it out and fly it sometimes out of the yard in the afternoon when the winds are calm. Just something to do. My bigger bandsaw, you can actually rip some small pieces of wood with that. Works pretty good. Got a couple drill presses. This is my large stand drill press. And then I've got a bench top drill press right over here with my little, what do you call that thing? Scroll saw, a little rigid scroll saw. They didn't make that anymore. For those of you who know about Craig jigs, here's my Craig jig with the screws and clamps and all that. You know, I actually forgot I had those wooden clamps up there. I need to move those to my clamp station. It's pretty handy. Oh yeah, down here, you can hardly miss this, taking up all this space. Joanne's little motorcycle. I just keep it in here. I keep my my large airplane in here. I've got a trailer to put it in, but it's got lithium batteries in it. I don't want to uninstall them, so during the wintertime, I just keep it in here, keep them in the warm. I don't keep it hot in here, but I just keep it above freezing. Oh, and by the way, didn't mention a while ago, I got a bunch of pictures just leaned up there against this workbench, and I've got a bunch of totes sitting over here. We're doing a little bit of a remodel of the house, of one of the rooms that I had a lot of airplane models and airplane collectibles in, and we pulled them out here in storage while we're doing the remodel. So it's kind of got the shop a little bit in disarray, but I'll get those out of the way shortly. Speaking of airplanes, here's one that I hoist up with a rope, and I let it down. Get a little better shot of it. It's got a 26 cc, or maybe it's a 30 cc gas engine. Then you can see a bunch of little airplanes up on the loft. Some of them are flyable, some of them are parts. I keep wings and whatnot above here, so the rafters, I'll have wings and airplanes on them. More airplanes up here. I know it's junky. I need to fix that up. Another one of my hobbies I haven't really said much about is rock tumbling. And I actually been tumbling. I just turned these off for the video, so it'll be quiet. But this is a couple rock tumblers. This one's just one I pieced together out of factory parts. But this one I just built from scratch. Turn this off. This is a piece of 8-inch conduit coupling. I took cutting boards from Walmart and made end caps for and gaskets, and built the frame, put a 1/4 horse motor on there, and I can tumble about 15-20 pounds of stone in this. I can do about 6 pounds in this one. And then here's one I just bought a while back. That one will do about 4 pounds. So what I do is I'll pick up rocks out of rivers, go to different places, you know, around, pick up cool rocks like flint, chert, jasper. There's some jasper not too far from here. And I'll bring this stuff home and I'll put it in these tumblers, and I'll get the rough shape that I want for the stone to be. And then I'll switch them over to this, what they call a vibratory tumbler. May not have this plugged in, no. But it basically just vibrates really fast. It's like something you would clean gun casing or shell casings with, and it will take the rocks through final polish. And I just keep them in our coffee table. Some of the better ones, I put them in there to look at. I'm going to try to make Joanne some jewelry, but it's just another hobby we enjoy. So let's see here. This area where I've got this storage, I actually had a model railroad layout over here. If you know anything about model railroads, HO scale is the most popular, followed by N scale. And what I did is I bought a closet door, and I put exactly in this area here, and on a couple sawhorses, and I built an N scale model railroad layout. And Joanne's like, well, why don't you bring it in the house and work on it in there, and we'll just put it in the house as like a display item. So I put it in there. I found that I never worked on it, never really finished it. So as soon as I can get this stuff out, I'm going to bring it back out here and put it back in this space. I don't know if I've got any photos or video I can overlay on this or not, but if I do, I can put that in there. But yeah, anyway, we're waiting for camping season to fire back up. I do have a couple projects that I'm wanting to do on the Camp Easy in the next little while that I can put on the videos. Touch this. It says my screen's about to time out. I think I'm okay though. But yeah, there's a couple projects we're wanting to do on the camper. Here's one of them. I'm building a new side table. I've got it cut out. I've got the rail installed, but I'm thinking I'm going to laser engrave like a checkerboard on this thing. And I might cut out some checker pieces to put on there, so we can use it a checkerboard in addition to just using it for storage. And I've actually got a list over here. This is a list of stuff I'm wanting to do to the Camp Easy. Joanne and I are thinking we might want to put a microwave oven or an air fryer in there. Everywhere we go, we have electric, so I think it would be pretty handy. And much as I hate to say it, I love the sink in the galley, but thinking about pulling the sink out and replacing that with solid countertops so I can get that storage space. Wanting to put a shelf on the inside of the bedroom. There's a lot of stuff we're wanting to do to it. So hopefully those will be projects in the shop here over the coming bit. Looks like I still have more of that green Formica up there. You can see in that roll. I don't know if I've got enough to do the whole countertop. I'm hoping so I don't have to buy it. But yeah, that'll be good. So if I'm not working on camping projects out here, I'm model railroading. I'm playing weird instruments. I'm building radio controlled airplanes. I'm rock tumbling, just 3D printing, doing all kinds of stuff. So this workshop is not just a one trick pony. This is a highly utilized workshop. Most of it I haven't put on the channel. I don't know if you want to see some more of that. Let me know. I can put some of that on there. But anyway, an unedited raw video of the workshop. Never did that before. Thought I'd try it. I hoped you liked it. So, hey, until next time, take care. We'll see you on the road.